Rejoice, my friend, or panic, because the new patch, the patch 11.2, the Ghost of Karesh, or the conclusion to the expansion The War Within, is about to be released. The 5th of August for America and the 6th of August for Europe. The patch release with a new zone, a new dungeon, a new delve, and much, much more. Let's discuss about that. Hello everyone, I'm Elloa, I'm a content creator on Twitch and YouTube and a World of Warcraft player since the release of the game. And today we will speak in detail about all the features that you can expect in the new patch, patch 11.2, Ghost of Karesh, or the conclusion to the War Within expansion, which is going to be pretty epic, I'm pretty sure of that. I've been debating whether I wanted to try all those features on the PTR or keep for myself the surprise and discover it together with you. So you are guaranteed to not have any spoiler in this video, beside of course some image that has been presented by Blizzard already. So depending what your level of spoiler acceptance is, this is a spoiler-free video. A new major patch means a new zone, a new story, and all activities that goes with it. This time we are traveling to Karesh, the shattered world of the Ethereal that has been destroyed by the Void Lord Dimensions a long time ago. Our mission will be to ensure that the Shadow Guards, a faction of the Ethereal that has stolen the Dark Heart from Xalathas, are not awakening Dimensions. The vibe for this patch is going to be very etheric, cosmic, science fiction inspired, a little bit new agey, very much in the line of the Burning Crusade in Legion, with a big focus on the Ethereal and the Broker that we're going to discover more in depth. The story is a campaign divided in 5 chapters, 3 that will release with the patch itself, 1 with the red, and 1 epilogue to conclude. In addition of Karesh, the city Tazavesh is making a grand comeback. Tazavesh was a mega dungeon in the Shadowlands expansion and will now serve as a hub for the players to exchange their wear, sell their stuff, showcase their mount, or take one of those warrants to hunt some rare mob in the overland, or take a portal towards a delve. In addition of being a city hub, it's also coming back as a mega dungeon. The mega dungeon will be difficulty mythic +10, something like that, and will serve as a mini raid. There's also 2 parts of Tazavesh that will serve in the mythic plus rotation. So I hope you like Tazavesh. A new zone means, of course, new side quests, treasures, named bosses, rare, many different secrets to be found, but this time it's going to be slightly different with 2 new activities. The first one is face diving. Face diving will be possible thanks to the new cloak, the Reshi wraps. It's a new artifact, a little bit in the line of the Sorcerer Circlet or the cloak that we had in Battle for Azeroth. An item that will not only be powerful, but also that can be upgraded, improved, and customized slightly with some special gem slots. This cloak will allow you to face dive not only in the overworld of Karesh, but also in the Delve or in the Reds. By face diving, you access to another reality, another phase of the world with different mobs, different treasure, different quests, some secrets to discover. So it's a way of exploring the world differently. In addition, when you are face diving, you cannot fly, so you will really have to explore the world from the ground. The second activity is the Ecological Succession. Help the broker Venari that you have met in Shadowlands before to repopulate an EcoDome and try to re-establish a fauna and flora on Karesh. For that, you're going to be sent in Azeroth in different zones to gather some species of animal and see if you can cultivate them, or it seems that it's going to be a very relaxing quest. Too, you will also have some components that will imply some combat as well. With this new patch, a new delve, the Archival Assault, which is a part of the dungeon from Dragonflight, the Azure Vault. So it's not exactly the same layout, it's quite different. It includes also some secret room and secret bosses that you can unlock utilizing Urashi wraps. This delve will contain some new scenarios, some new mechanic. It will be pretty different from the current and existing delve. And with this new ability of unlocking different secrets, seeing some secret room with some secret boss, you will also be able to see where your comrades have fallen, a little bit in the style of Dark Souls, which can be quite hilarious. With this new delve, we also have a new nemesis. This is no other Princess Kiveza that we encountered already in Nerubar Palace. We had some business with her and she managed to escape. So we're going to find her and maybe take revenge. Unless she escapes again, who knows? With this new patch, we have a new dungeon, the EcoDome Aldani, which is obviously taking place in an EcoDome. The story is disconnected from the main plot, but seems to take part after the defeat of the last boss of the Red. But it seems that the scenario is pretty disconnected, so you will not be spoiled. So do not be afraid of doing the story of this dungeon before you finish the Red, which is most likely what people are going to do anyway. So don't worry for that. This dungeon will have 3 bosses, and we can hope that it's a fun one for the Mythic Plus season. The new Red is called Manaforge Omega, and that name alone make me dream. This is a Red with 8 boss encounter. One of them is optional. This is the Soul Hunter encounter. The last bosses are the Nexus King Shaldazar and the Void Lord Dimensius. Dimensius is said to be as big as the city of Stormwind. Do you imagine the scale of that fight? I cannot even imagine how it will be to fight against a boss that you cannot even see on your screen. This is going to be quite epic and a beautiful way to conclude this magnificent expansion of the War Within and lead into Midnight. It's probably also going to be the most epic encounter in the history of World of Warcraft. Of course, in the Red there is new class set. I've done a video about the class set when I'm doing my rating. Of course, we're speaking about the aesthetic, not about the set bonuses. But those sets are quite interesting and people in general are quite excited about the bonus set as well. The bonus set this time are focusing on your archetype, so your hero talent, instead of just the class or the spec you are playing, which is quite intriguing. New patch, new season. Season 3 is opening the 11th of August in America and the 12th of August in Europe. We have a new selection of 8 dungeons. 4 of them are the War Within dungeon that has been voted by the community a few months ago. And I did a video on that subject telling you my opinion regarding this. In addition of Arakara, the Dawnbreaker, the Priory of the Sacred Flame and Operation Floodgate, we will have the new dungeon, the EcoDome Aldani, but also the Hall of Atonement from Shadowlands, and the 2 versions of Tazavesh, Tazavesh Street of Wonder and Tazavesh Solia Gambit. A new feature is added as well, which are the Waystone, or a checkpoint in the dungeon that will clearly show players when they unlock it and where their body will respawn when they die. So those waypoints will spawn after you unlock it and will be represented by this beautiful little stone in the dungeon. PvPers have not been forgotten. If you enjoy world PvP, you will have a new area, the Vanquisher Wake, where to do your daily quest and your PvP. You do not need to do a chain quest to unlock this area. You can just activate war mode and just enjoy it. And that's it. Of course, the PvP talent also have been reworked, so expect that. Speaking of rework, there's new class changes. Some spec have been specifically reworked in depth. Shadow Priest, Frost and Unholy Death Knight, and Brewmaster Monk and of course there will be some other change as well. A new warband campsite can be obtained if you have done previously or if you complete the quest A Shadowy Invitation. And speaking about stuff you can collect and obtain, obviously this patch goes together with new mount, new pets, new toys, and new item to collect, new transmog. There is some different sets for all class armor that are inspired from the ethereal fashion and that are pretty beautiful. I think those will be quite successful, especially if you enjoy purple and dark blue. While this patch doesn't seem to bring anything absolutely revolutionary, I think it's going to be a solid patch, a beautiful story, a nice zone, and a nice way to finish the war was in a different atmosphere than where we started. So it's going to be nice to leave the undergrounds to discover the outer space. It's going to be quite the trip. I'm personally pretty excited to know the end of the story. So far, The War Within has probably been the most exciting story for myself. I really enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the plot, the writing, the direction, all the plot twists that happened. And so I'm very curious to see where it leads us, especially as we probably are going to leave this expansion upon a cliffhanger. So I can't wait to discover it. This is probably the part I'm the most excited about. Now, I'm also very excited about the new season of Mythic Plus. The reason being that I almost have 4 new dungeons this time for this season. I've never played in Tazavesh and I barely remember the whole of Atonement. I'm also very excited about the new raids. In Season 2 I've pushed myself a little harder and I started to do mythic raiding. So I'm very much enthusiastic at the idea of raiding more seriously in Season 3 as well, with my guild Starship, which is awesome. I'm also really appreciating the fact that we have very distinct atmosphere, biome, style, and encounter, obviously. So from Nerubar Palace to Undermined and then to Karesh, I think we have traveled through this expansion, and I really like that. I like the diversity that it procures. So now the next patch is going to be released a little earlier than we all anticipated, at least some of us, at least I did. So you only have the month of July to prepare yourself for it. So what can you do? First of all, if you're interested with the lore, I really recommend to do the 2 quests that has been introduced with Lore Walker Show. The first one being about the Ethereal and the second one about Xalatas. This will refresh your memory, really expand your view about the scenario, and enter into this new story with a little bit more background. It's always a good idea to do that, to refresh your memory, even if you think you know, so you can be immersed better. If it's what you enjoy, of course. Some people don't care about the story. I will also recommend to gear up your character to be sure that every character you're planning to play with in Season 3 will be ready as soon as the patch is releasing, so you can jump in directly in Mythic Zeros. You will have to wait 1 week more for Mythic Plus and the Red, but you can already start with Mythic Zero, learn all the new dungeon and learn the routes and all that kind of things. So for that, be sure that every character you have and you want to play with have the proper equipment, and I will aim for heroic quality. It has never been as easy to catch up with gear, so you have no excuses. And that's it for this video. I hope it was informative. If you want to know more about the Ghost of Karesh, I will recommend you to check those videos created by Mr. GM and Bellular that explain all the features that you will encounter in more depth with their own testing and own feedback about it. So 2 quite interesting videos if you want to have more information. So, my friends, are you excited for this new patch? Tell me in the comment below what you think about it. And if you want to see me live, do not hesitate to check me on Twitch. During the month of July, my schedule is a little bit more hectic and unpredictable than usual because I am moving home. But I'm getting ready forward the months of August to dive and immerse myself fully into the Ghost of Karesh. I'm very excited and I hope you are too. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe, leave me a comment, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on YouTube or on Twitch. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved one. See you soon. Bye everyone.